Beefs are, they're volatile. So you always have to be careful that a beef doesn't turn into a murder. Back in the day, you do a diss record, but it would stay kind of somewhat in the hip hop community. Now, it's all over the world. All walks of life know what's going on, and some people can't really take that kind of humiliation. I don't really like seeing rappers beef. I don't think is necessary to have a great career, but it happens. Hey, it's part of the game, and I think when you're in a beef, you can't really hold back. It's like being in a fight. You can't really half punch. You got to go all the
Yeah.
way. Beefs are, they're volatile. So you always have to be careful that.
What is up? What is up? What is up, y'all? Did you hear what Ice Cube had to say about rap beefs? Did you agree with what he was saying? Did anyone under the sound of my voice agree with what you just heard? Because it seems like rap beefs have taken over Tyler Perry's internet over the last couple days. Let me not forget my manners. How's everyone doing tonight? How's everyone feeling tonight? Amber Garcia, I will play it again just for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. Ice Cube had something to say about the current state of rap beefs that are going on in the rap community. But if you saw the thumbnail that I put out there, you understand where I'm going in this scenario. And it may be a little different than what you've heard on other channels, but if you're familiar with what we do on this channel, Amber Garcia, you understand my perspective. You understand how I have a heart for the community, especially the young people in our community. And it bothers me when situations like this take over the narrative. And we follow negative images, and we follow negative music, and we follow negative behavior. Negan says, I'd rather be a sheep. Jesus is my shepherd. Yeah, but the problem is, Negan, I hope I'm saying that right. The problem is that the young people in this generation follow the entertainment industry. They become sheep who follow the shepherd of the music business, the shepherd of them folks, and they are pulled by the nose by folks who control entertainment. And in certain situations, they take this stuff so seriously that at times it becomes dangerous, becomes detrimental to their health, to their mental health, because they ingest this stuff on social media platforms and it's pumped into their head through music. Miguel Lorette, thank you for being here, says, that's right, Hollywood is evil. I need people to understand, especially our young folks, to understand that Hollywood is evil. Let me see if I can cue this thing up once again, y'all.
A beef doesn't turn into a murder. Back in the day, you do a diss record, but it would stay kind of somewhat in the hip hop community. Now, it's all over the world. All walks of life know what's going on, and some people can't really take that kind of humiliation. I don't really like seeing rappers beef. I don't think is necessary to have a great career, but it happens. Hey, it's part of the game,
Who's
and I
gang?
think when you're in a beef, you can't really hold back. It's like being in a fight. You can't really half punch. You got to go all
Yeah.
the way. Beefs are
Okay, y'all, but who's community is this occurring in, and whose community is this not occurring in? Can we simply turn a blind eye to that and pretend like we don't see it? I don't see country music artists beefing like this. I don't see rock music artists beefing like this. It's only us that seem to be under the thumb of them folks who control this industry, who seem to, y'all, can I be honest with y'all? We talking about sheep, right? Thank you, Blue Skies Mom, for being here tonight. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you. We talking about sheep, y'all. We talking about people who are led astray. People who are gullible, like our young people in our community who fall for this kind of foolishness and see it as the real deal. Who see it as ways that they should behave in their own personal lives. I'm old enough, y'all, to remember. Some of y'all who follow me don't even remember a Biggie and a Tupac because y'all ain't old enough. But we played this clip from Ice Cube, and he's certainly old enough. Some of y'all don't even realize that Tupac wasn't a gangster. Wasn't a gangster at all. That's not what he was raised to be. That's not what he was groomed to be. He was sold to y'all in that way because this game promoted him in that way. Shelby McDonald, thank you for being here. But Tupac Shakur was not a gangster. He was not a thug, despite having it tatted on his belly, Thug Life. Tupac Shakur was a revolutionary raised by Black Panthers. He was politically aware. He was in touch with his people on a ground level, on a local level. Y'all, he understood politics. He understood economics on a certain level because he was raised by revolutionaries who were educated in these topics. And somehow, some way, found himself locked in a prison in New York State. With $1 million bail, couldn't get himself out to save his life. Nobody connected to him to get him out, could get him out as much as they were educated politically. They didn't have no resources. Like a lot of people on Tyler Perry's internet today. They got a lot to say. But if you find yourself in a situation, they ain't got no resources to help you out. All they got is verbosity. All they got is word salads. Anybody want a salad? All they got is discussion. They get on here and they talk I'm not even going to call it a good talk because it's such a negative talk. They want you to wake up angry every day and be like the blackety blacks, the crispity, crunchity, crackly blacks. Everything is against me. Everything is white supremacy. Everything is holding me back. That's what they want you to think 24/7. Why? Because they poverty pimps. And as long as they can keep you in that mindset and keep you tuned in to their foolishness, well, that keeps them paid. As long as you stay angry and you stay mad and you stay defeated and you stay in a victimhood mentality, well, that keeps them paid. These are the poverty pimps. Donald Vick is in the building, says instead of fixing the problems in their own community and fixing what's going on in their own lives, they rather keep up what's going on with Diddy. Hey, we're getting there. Thank you, Donald Vick, for being a part of the conversation tonight, because what we're dealing with in this Ice Cube video that I just showed, we're dealing with a rap beef. And when I see situations like this, Mega Dog 73, I have to say, who cares? Why is this important to anyone? If you look back at that thumbnail that I put up, you see why it's important, because they have trained so many of us in our community to be sheep, to follow along with whatever narrative they pump into the community. whatever narrative they pump into your earbuds, whatever narrative they pump into the screen of your social media feed. And we fall for it every time, y'all. Just a couple weeks ago, you couldn't get around the P. Diddy narrative. It was P. Diddy everything. P. Diddy 24/7. P. Diddy all day. And now here we are, Megadog 73, just a couple weeks later. And it's all about a rap beef. It's all about lyrical exchanges. It's all about metaphorical exchanges. We've seen these situations before. If it wasn't for this thugged out foolishness, Donald Vick says, that's a form of white supremacy. Don't fall for the trick bag. Man, look. If you the kind of dude who wakes up every day and feels like white supremacy is holding you back, this probably ain't the feed for you. This probably ain't the channel for you, because I don't believe that over here. What's holding you back is laziness. White supremacy ain't the reason you didn't graduate high school. White supremacy ain't the reason you ain't got college degrees. White supremacy ain't the reason you didn't start a business. The reason you didn't start a business is because you ain't read no books and you don't know how. Because you haven't taken the initiative. You haven't taken the responsibility upon yourself to be a better person. Does white supremacy exist? Yeah, maybe. In certain aspects of society. Is white supremacy going to stop you from being great? Only if you let it. We don't believe that over here. Bernie Miranda is in the building. Thank you for being here and thank you for supporting. But somehow this narrative has shifted in a short amount of time. Now y'all ain't on Diddy no more. Ain't that interesting? Alexandria Darby, thank you for being here. Ain't it interesting how quickly the narrative shifted from P. Diddy this and P. Diddy that and P. Diddy everything to a situation where everything is about rap beef. And it devolved so quickly, y'all, from a rap beef about folks who were talking metaphorically about circumstances to folks who are making ad hominem attacks against their enemies. I need some lotion, y'all. I can't even believe I put my hand up like that in front of the camera. Whoa! Here we go, y'all. We live tonight. Let's be live then. Won't do that again. But here we have a situation where everything has devolved and it's hominem attacks and folks talking about you had a nose job and this is what your race is instead of this is what your race should be. Well, that's crazy, right? In hip hop, in rap, folks talking about, oh, well, you had lap band surgery and you had weight reduction surgery and you on this drug and that drug in order to lose weight and you used to be fat and you used to have a fat nose. Y'all, we just pitching stuff back and forth to each other. I'm sorry, y'all. This is crazy. We pitching stuff back and forth in this community talking about this is what you should be and this is what this should be. And let me rap about this and let me talk about you here and there and everywhere. And this is what our young people are ingesting, never even paying attention to the fact that this entire industry is controlled by other folks. We ain't in control of none of this. Y'all paying attention to people who are quote unquote celebrities who are put in front of you to gain your attention, whether they got talent or not. They are placed in front of you by machinery, by wicked machinations of the industry. These people are put in front of you intentionally. They are marketed to you. They are pushed in your social media feed. How you can't see it, I don't understand. Some of these people are young, and I'll give them that. They are young. Understand, we got to allow folks to be young, allow folks to figure it out. But in certain circumstances, y'all, they are made sheep amongst an industry of wolves. George Roberts says, I don't think we just become this. Man has always thought he knew something that we don't. Yeah, maybe it was a gradual progression. Maybe it was something that took time for us to develop into. But we can't deny the facts, George. We can't deny that some of these kids out here today are less educated than you and I, only because they sat in front of a TV and played video games instead of going outside and touching trees and seeing birds and experiencing life. The life that they experienced growing up was artificial, was digital, was not real. Semper Fi, Jesus. I'm going to say Jesus instead of Jesus. Says, as a white person, I love all colors of human race. Our Creator knew that living in a land of one color would be dull and lifeless. Peace to all. In Christ alone, anything else is sinking sand. I don't disagree with that, sir. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your support. And thank you for being here tonight. Just an Average Man is in the place. He says, give the man a like. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your support. Thank you for being here. We just talking about this rap beef that seems to have taken over the entire narrative of what's going on here. Seems that our young people are being controlled. And y'all know when I get on this rant, I'll be on it because I understand what this entertainment industry is about. I get it. I see it. I feel it on a real level because I know people who've been victimized by it. I know people who have gained trinkets and feel like they've had some successes in this game, and yet they at the lowest rung of economic society. They have nothing to show for their entertainment accolades, and it results in nothing. It equates to nothing. Even when they put you on the late night talk shows to perform, even when they put you on the award shows to get a little trophy, what does it amount to in your everyday life? Nothing. You still have kids who have wants. You still have baby mamas who hitting you up in court and putting full court pressure on you, even with that musical award. Alexandria says, just out here being puppets. Yes, Alexandria, we go from one thing to another to whatever they feed us in this game. We feel like that's what it's supposed to be. And that's incredible to me, y'all, that we can go from just a couple weeks ago where everything was focused on Diddy. Oh, his houses are being raided. Oh, he's going to be charged any day. Oh, look at the SWAT team in front of his property. And now ain't nobody talking about that. Somebody, them folks, if you ask me, somebody has changed the narrative. Somebody has changed the narrative, and our people, that don't go across racial lines, that don't go across gender lines, that goes across psychological lines. If you picking up what I'm putting down, in my mind, you my people. Nothing else matters. As long as we can agree on a psychological level, on a spiritual level, you my people. Megadog73 says they count on us to forget. And it makes me wonder, Magadog and Bernie, thank you for being here, both of y'all. It makes me wonder if that P. Diddy story was too salacious, was too much fire on that, and somebody needed us to forget. Makes me wonder if someone was incentivized to create another narrative, another situation that could distract us, something that we could pay attention to get us off of that. And here we go with all these different celebrities. Celebrities, they feed us, mind you. Because these folks who are at the top of the game are not necessarily the most talented. I say that all the time. Just because they on top, just because they're getting the most streams, just because they're selling the most units, doesn't mean that they're the best. Just means that they're in situations that are advantageous to their careers. And when it goes down to beefs and folks throwing barbs back at each other, back and forth, sometimes you begin to realize, well, maybe this person who I thought was fire ain't quite as dope as what they presented themselves to be. Maybe I'm seeing it in a way that I shouldn't be seeing it in. Because it seems to me, Shelby McDonald, thank you for being here, and Donald Vick, seems to me, y'all, that some of these folks that you thought were the greatest might be getting roasted in these situations. Here we go on IG. Reported by Hollywood Unlocked, says Rick Ross trolls Drake in a hoodie with his face on it. Drake tells mom he didn't get a nose job. Y'all, we got situations where rappers are throwing these ad hominems. I hate ad hominem attacks. I hate them. I always tell people that I engage with an ad hominem attack is the lowest form of dispute. Is the lowest form of discourse. Is the lowest form of discussion. When you resort to, oh, well, you fat. Oh, well, you ugly. Oh, well, you this and oh, well, you that. No, you've distracted from the discussion. What are we really arguing about? Did we start arguing about your weight? Was the discussion started by arguing about, are we really going back and forth about the size of your nose right now? Or is the discussion much deeper and we've devolved to the point where we ain't got nothing else to exchange but personal barbs? Vicky Allred says, I'm 70. It seems like the one thing I knew about blacks, I knew when I was young, were so God-fearing. They still God-fearing to the most part. For the most part, Vicky, at your age, at 70, at grandmamas is still in the black community. Grandmamas are still God-fearing. But we're dealing with societal influences for these young folks. Some of these 70-year-old, Vicky Allred, some of these grandmamas that are your age are forced to raise their grandchildren because their children are so messed up. Their children are out on the streets. Their children are irresponsible. Some of these grandmamas your age, Vicky, are forced to bring up infants, babies, in situations that they haven't had to deal with in decades. And they're confronted with these situations. Yes, they are still God-fearing. What you learned about them is correct. It is still correct. But these younger generations have some real influences that are heavy in the community. That folks your age, Vicky, aren't able to counteract. Folks my age, Vicky, aren't able to counteract. And Vicky, you old enough to be my mama. My mama is your age. But we have to understand that we're dealing with some generational influences. At your age, you might be a little disconnected. At my age, I might be a little disconnected. It seems like it's getting worse with every generation, Vicky. But it's something we have to fight against because If you step back and take a macro view of what's going on, you can see that this stuff is influenced in this game. It is not by happenstance that these things take place. Nah, Vicky, you're not out of touch. Shelby McDonald says, still on fire in Hawaii. 85,000 children missing. Hollywood is satanic. It definitely is satanic. And we have to fight against it. And that's why I make videos like this, because we have to keep putting out narratives. And we hope against hope that every now and then someone will see what's going on. They will see a video like this and tap into the narrative and say, I understand. Sorry, y'all, my phone going off. Let me address a quick issue here. Can I do this? Y'all, I apologize. I got to respond to this. Otherwise, my phone would just keep going off. Boom, there we go. That's where we are, y'all. Let's see what this report is saying on Hollywood Unlocked. Rick Ross trolls Drake in a hoodie with its face on it. Okay, this is where we're going. And this is unfortunate because these is grown folks. Y'all, Rick Ross probably older than I am out here playing like this in these streets, knowing the history of these kinds of disputes in our community. Like I've mentioned before, not in the country music community, not in the rock community, not in the classical community. This is only in the hip hop rap community. This is us. How dare somebody come in my chat, the last person who mentioned it just a couple of minutes ago, talking about white supremacy. How dare you mention white supremacy in my chat when this is us? We can't fix us. You think we're going to fix white supremacy? Deal with yourself, bruh, sis. Fix yourself. Respect yourself. And then other people will respect you. You trying to demand respect from other folks and you don't even respect yourself? Look, there are other people involved in the hip hop and rap community I'm not even discussing right now. And so influential that other people, look, people are pushing them into our community onto these little girls, these images of half-naked folks. I'm not even going to mention their name because it's not even worth it. But if you know, like I know, you understand that some of these images are being pumped into the minds of our little girls. And they telling these little girls to act this way and look this way and talk this way, destroying them. Psychologically destroying them. Not doing that in other communities, not doing that in classical music, not doing that in country music, not doing that in rock music. No, they doing that to us. So before you jump out here talking about what them folks doing, I need you to take responsibility. What have you done in your community? What have you done to change the mind state of your kids and your neighbor's kids and your cousin's kids and those in your orbit, those in your circle? What have you done for those people around you to change that mindset before you get to blaming white supremacy? I can't believe somebody jumped in my chat tonight with talking about white, bro. Bro, you must be new here. Because around here, we take responsibility for us. Before you get to blaming white supremacy, you better blame the mama of that child. You better blame the daddy of that. Tell me where the daddy at. Before you get to blaming white supremacy, where's the daddy? Y'all really want me to get active tonight? I didn't plan on getting on here doing this. But I can do it. Y'all let me know if y'all want to go there. I can do it. Blue Sky's mom says, say it, Gerald. I'm trying to hold back, Blue Sky's mom. I ain't trying to offend nobody. But I feel a certain way when our young people are being led like sheep to the slaughter by them folks who run this industry. Do y'all think, and I apologize, y'all, I understand I'm small on the screen right now, but do y'all understand? Do y'all believe that this is happenstance? Do y'all believe that all of a sudden the narrative naturally shift from all things P. Diddy to a rap beef that just kind of bubbled up out of nowhere and just took over the whole narrative of the music? Do y'all really believe that? Somebody tell me that we are not this gullible. Somebody tell me that we are not this naive. Somebody tell me that we are not sheep. That's that thumbnail in it. Says Rick Ross trolls Drake in hoodie with his face on it. Bro, you an old fat black man. What are you even doing out here like this? At your age, and especially someone who has made so much money that he has bought so many acres in Fayetteville, Georgia, that he's living in a castle. Bro, why don't you go off somewhere and ride off into the sunset and live your life? Why are you caught up in situations like this? Seems like you should be above it. Seems like you should be beyond it. And yet here you are. In childhood, back and forth ad hominem attacks. Well, seems like somebody with man boobs and a belly to sit them on would not want to engage in ad hominem attacks, would not want to engage in a back and forth. You talking about, oh, well, Drake done had a nose job and he done got his abs done and got a BBL. And yeah, it's funny. I ain't gonna lie. When I saw it at first, I laughed. But bro, we know what these kind of situations lead to in the rap music community. Don't lead to that in country music. Don't lead to that in rock music. But in our community, it seems like these ad hominem attacks take on a life of their own. And these old men, these OGs, let me put something on that, because these dudes is my age. These OGs, like a Rick Ross and a Drake, should be able to handle their differences in a much more mature way than going back and forth like this when we know the history of the game in this regard. Drake tells mom he didn't get a nose job. That's what he told his mama. Well, I would hope that his mama would know. Without him having to tell her. Mamas know a lot more than we give them credit for. Any mamas in the chat? Sometimes we can spin some narratives to our mamas thinking they gonna fall for what we talking about. Y'all, they look at us straight in our eyes. They know we ain't telling the truth, or they know we spinning it. Oh, it might be a little bit of truth there, but we taking that truth and we manipulating it as the truth to try to fit our narrative that we want it to be. But somehow our mamas know. Ain't nothing like the love of a mother. Look, y'all, if you ever get to the point in your life where you were born and raised by your mama, a woman who cared for you, a woman, I'm not talking about these modern day mothers who don't care nothing about their child, who will have a baby and be twerking on the internet, on Instagram next week after having it. Not them, because I don't know who raised them people. I'm talking about these mothers who invest in you. These mothers who raise you and nurture you and give you everything they got. Ain't nothing like the love of a mother. If you ever get to the point where you lose that, your mother will ride with you to the end of the earth. Bernie Miranda says, yes, I'm a mom. That's good to know, Bernie. I didn't know. Now I know Bernie's a mom. Alexandria's a mama bear. Blue Sky's mom says, damn right. She not playing. She down for hers. She understands. We got some mama bears in the house, and I appreciate y'all being here. But if you ever get to the point in your life where you do so bad, you do so many dastardly deeds that you lose the love of a mother, I don't know what to say to you after that, bro. Sis, I don't know what to say if you go so far in life, so far downhill that you lose the love of a mother, because that thing, there's something special about that. And I didn't mean to go here tonight, but that's just where we are. Y'all, there's something special about the love of a mother where you can just be trash. You can just be dirty. Something about that mother can see through that trash, see through that dirt, and still love you regardless. And when you think of what you have to do, what you have to go through, what you have to become, to the point where your mama give up on you, that's heavy. I've never been in that situation. I'll never be in that situation. I'll never know, but let me just put that on your mind. What would your child have to do? Ladies, mama bears, protectors, lovers, raisers of these young people, boys and girls. Bernie says, married 27 years. We have a son, raising him right. Can't imagine what that son would have to do to make you give up on him, to make you feel like he is not redeemable, he is not reclaimable. That little baby that you brought up, that you pushed out into the world, that baby that you gave life to. Can't imagine what he would have to do in order for you to give up on him. And yet, when we look at this young generation, some of these folks give up on these kids before they're even old enough to have done anything. Some of them have no maternal instincts whatsoever. Some of them are not connected to them, even though they push them out into the world. It's incredible. It's unbelievable that a mother can go through gestation and not be connected to her child in a certain way. I don't know where that even came from, y'all. I don't know how we got off into that. But here we go with Rick Ross. Alexandria says, lost my mother over 25 years ago. I cherish every moment I have and miss her every day. You know what, Alexandria, I was watching, because I follow a lot of YouTubers and I look for, tips. I look for information. I try to better my presentation. So I'm always looking at folks and looking for things to better myself. Told y'all in the past, I'm an introvert. This is not something that comes natural to me. I'm not very talkative in person. I'm a wallflower. I stand on the wall and just be quiet. I'd rather sit somewhere and read a book. The sound of my own voice sometimes irritates me. If you understand what I'm saying. But I was listening to Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco on one of his late night podcasts. And he dropped a bomb on Ocho Cinco one night, and it had something to do with his mother, and Ocho couldn't even take it. He broke down in tears, and he said, if I could just hear my mother cuss me out one more time. Alexandria, did you hear what I said? That's a grown man who broke down in tears on Beyonce's internet. He couldn't take it. He said just to hear her voice cuss me out one more time. I'm sure he'd pay millions if he could. I don't know how we got here, y'all. But I love and appreciate y'all, and I thank you for your support tonight. This is where we going. Shout out to Ocho Cinco and Club Shay Shay, and I forget the name of his nighttime show, but yes. The love of a mother is unmatched. Point blank, period, y'all. And here we are with a generation of sheep who many of them don't even respect the love of a mother, don't even respect parental guidance. They get out, y'all. We raise them up in Sunday school and bring them up in the fear of God, so we think, and they get out amongst their peers and their quote unquote friends, and they counteract everything we teach them, and they fall into this narrative of these athletes and actresses and actors and entertainers and rappers, and next thing you know, they caught up in these narratives like this, and here you got Rick Ross trolling Drake. Call him a white boy. I heard his response. I listened to the verse closely, repeatedly. Called him a white boy. Bro, why are you making race a thing in this back and forth beef? What are you doing? We trying to bring people together, and you sitting up falling into a narrative that is divisive. And y'all in my chat want to talk about white supremacy when you got Rick Ross calling this man a white boy. Don't look white to me. Bernie Miranda says so childish. Yes, Bernie, so idiotic. So immature, but you know what? Them folks love when we get down like this. They love when they can reduce us to this. I don't even know what this monkey said. I don't even know what he's trying to convey. I don't. I don't listen to this kind of music. To me, it ain't even really music. But I understand the message that he's trying to convey by putting your ops on your chest. I get that part. And I understand that people have lost their lives over less. I don't know what this dude talking about. I don't know the message that he's trying to convey other than disrespect by putting your ops on your chest. Okay, I didn't even hear what you said, bro. The audio is so bad in that venue. But you put this man's image on your I'm saying chest, but really, can we be honest? It's on your belly, bro. And y'all, I understand that this is coming from somebody who's 30 pounds down. So I ain't trying to take a victory lap here, and I'm not trying to throw no ad hominem bars against this bro, but I understand what he's trying to put out here. Man, this dude is propped up on your belly, sir. Nate says, this is sad how youth listen to this junk music. I agree. Kofi 19 is here with us tonight. Thank you for being here. Say, preach, Gerald. I say it all the time, Nate. Kofi 19. I say it. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a bishop. I'm not an evangelist. I'm just Gerald Kofi. I'm just a guy on the internet who gets on here and complains about stuff. Bernie says we get it. Okay, Bernie, then I'm going to let up. Thank you for confirming, Bernie. Bernie says we get it. We understand. Bill Castle says, hello from Washington State. What is up, Bill Castle from Washington State on the left? Appreciate you being here. Appreciate your support. We talking about grown folks making fools of themselves on this internet by engaging in immature behaviors that I believe they shouldn't behave in. I believe our young people should not be subject to this kind of foolishness. And yet here we are in 2024, just a couple weeks after the Diddy narrative. Somebody, y'all, has shifted the narrative. Somebody has changed the subject matter to where people are no longer talking about the Diddy situation. I assume it's because there are people involved in the Diddy situation who don't want to be talked about. So what do we do when all this focus is on Diddy? This narrative is on Diddy. All this concentration of the media is on Diddy's situation, and we know that we are vulnerable in that situation. We got to change the narrative. We got to do something else. We got to get the focus off a situation where we are vulnerable. Let's let these monkeys fight each other. Kofi19 says, you're not a preacher, but you're an elder. Well, thank you, Kofi. That don't make me feel no better because these young folks have been calling me OG since I was in my 30s, and I am no longer in my 30s. I'm not in my 50s, but I'm not in my 30s. How about that? Did I narrow it down for you? Cherry Blossom is in the building from California, where I'm from. Cherry Blossom 24, you understand what it is because you in California. All you got to do is turn on the news and you'll see how that Bay Bridge between Oakland and San Francisco was turned into a sideshow just a couple days ago. Y'all, they spinning donuts on the bridge. Shut traffic down. It's getting crazy out here. The crime problem is crazy. The business is leaving. It's crazy. Bernie says, I got an old soul. I appreciate that, Bernie. I think that's a compliment. I'll take it as a compliment. Let's just say I'm a young man with an old soul. Can we agree to that? But here we are. Cherry Blossoms 24 in California. You see what I see. You see the homeless problem. Look, they just did an audit in this state, y'all, where they contributed over $24 million in California. I'm sorry. I got that wrong. I said million with an M. $24 billion in this state of California that was directed to the homeless problem in this state. And after an audit, they found that the government didn't even track the money. They didn't even follow where the money went. They have no results, no improvements to the homeless epidemic in this state. Nothing that they can present to show that there has been any efficacy at all to the homeless program. But the money is gone. $24 billion and some. And you know what they did? They ain't gonna admit this, but you know what they did. They gave the money to their friends who have nonprofits, to their friends who have NGOs, to their friends who have churches, to their friends who have all these different organizations, and they just passed it on to their friends who could throw them something back their way, who could give these government officials some kickbacks. They ain't got no record of where the money went, y'all. 24 plus billion. If you know, you know. That's what politics is. That's what we dealing with in this state. I hope it's better in your state. I'm ready to go. If I just be totally honest with y'all, I'm ready to go. But I have people in the state who need me, who need my support. So I'm here for the support. How about that? Y'all, this is such a childish situation, and I hate that I even have to report on it, but our young people are being led astray as sheep as these narratives are being promoted to them. And it's up to us as a community to come together and have discussions like this. Y'all, I say it in every video. Y'all hear me say it. We want to share the video so we can expand and get more people involved in the conversation, because the more we talk these things through, the more we will come up with solutions, and the more we will be able to help and assist those who come up after us. Kofi 19 says the mayor of Baltimore didn't like being called DEI, but this past week announced a plan to sell vacant houses for $1. I saw that they were selling, but you know what? Those houses are so beat down. Even for $1 in Baltimore, Kofi. I looked at that. I saw that story and I looked at it and said, wow, even if you get them for $1, it's going to cost you 6 figures to rehab those units because they're so beat down. And there are opportunities and avenues where you could, make it profitable, especially when you look at the real estate market in California, where the rental market is so crazy that you can't even get a piece of property and make it profitable. You can't even break even on a piece of property. I saw an article just recently that said you got to make almost $200,000 in the state of California just to get a piece of property at the average price point, just to qualify for a mortgage. It's crazy in this state, y'all. It's crazy, but that's the reality of the situation. And when we talk about young people who are led astray and fall for narratives like this, they're not even tapped into the realities of life. How can you even be caught up in a beef between Rick Ross and Drake? Who cares, bro? Are your lights still on? Is your phone being cut off? Is Rick, the repo man, coming for your car? I think there are much more pressing issues, especially in the state where I live, y'all, where you got to be about it. You better get rich before you get poor. Blue Sky's mom says exactly, who cares? I don't. Blue Sky's mom, I'm trying to convince these kids not to care. I'm trying to get them to focus like a laser on the things that will bring positive change to their lives. Not just focus spiritually, but focus on the money you make. Focus on how you spend that money. Focus on investments. Focus on economics. Don't get a couple dollars that you rub together and immediately go out and buy a Gucci belt. I tell them all the time when I get a chance to get in their ear, the people I respect. I ain't never seen Warren Buffett in a Gucci belt. I ain't never seen Jeff Bezos in a Gucci belt. I ain't never seen Elon Musk in a Gucci belt. If you're trying to shoot for the big time, operate like the big time. Y'all see me get on this podcast, and I'm going live more and more, and I'm going to keep coming live to you more and more on this channel, but you ain't never going to see me in no branded t-shirt. It's just a plain shirt. Why would I wear a logo and promote foolishness to y'all? Them logos don't mean nothing. Them brands don't mean nothing if you're not a good person. I promote integrity. Make yourself better. That brand on your chest is not going to make you no better of a person. I don't care. Look, why are we going here tonight? This was not the intent. But you'll never catch me in a pair of $200, $300 Jordans. And when I see you in them, it make me look at you a certain type of way. Because them shoes don't make the man. That shirt don't make the man. That suit does not make the man. The man makes the suit. I wish y'all could pick up what I'm putting down. I wish y'all could get what I'm trying to convey tonight. Them Jordans don't make you, bro. I know I'm talking to mature people tonight. I know the demographics of my audience. I talk to y'all in a certain way because I want y'all to take these messages and convey them to the youth. I know it's folks on my chat that's older than me. I get it. Duck Pencils, I get you. Thank you for being here. Jed Moore, thank you for being here. Netta T, thank you for being here. I appreciate the support of all of y'all for coming through and showing your support tonight. Thank you for being a part of this chat and being a part of this live stream. I hope you take something from this message. I hope there is someone in your life that you can share this with. Just drop a little nugget in their ear. Don't beat them over the head, because sometimes I've been so aggressive that some of these young folks just turn you off. They roll their eyes and they stop listening. And I understand how we got to be subtle in our approach, but understand this, y'all. Them folks, that other side that's being so aggressive and pushing these messages onto our young people, well, they're not tampering down their message at all. So I am hesitant to tell you to hold back when you approach these folks, because this other side is putting on a full court press. And if we let up, we're bound to lose. Sandra Smith says, right, I'm 74. Sandra Smith, I appreciate you being here tonight. At 74, I love and appreciate your presence. Sandra Smith, you older than my mama. You old enough to be my mama, and I respect my elders, y'all, because I know they've lived a life. I know they have so many different experiences and so much that they can add. This is something I didn't respect so much when I was younger, but at this point in my life, I so appreciate the Sandra Smiths of the world. Thank you all for being here tonight. I just wanted to point out that our young people, let me get this off my screen because I don't even want to see this. I'm sorry, y'all. But at this point in my life, I appreciate the fact that we are in a position to bring about change. But I also appreciate that we face many oppositions from that other side, and y'all, in an election year in 2024, well, we got to be prepared to oppose the other side and stand for righteousness. And you can have righteousness without right. Look up the spelling of the word. You can't have righteousness without right. I believe we are on the side of right. And it's up to us to take responsibility to preach it and teach it and guide the youth of today. We got to be able to steer them in the right direction, y'all, because the churches ain't getting it done. The community organizations ain't getting it done. Pardon my broken English, but that's how I feel it right now. They ain't getting it done. So it is up to us to take it upon ourselves and not only teach those within our house, but reach out a little bit. Say, hey, Junior, who these friends you hanging out with? Let's have some iced tea on the porch and chop it up. Can we talk for a second? Gather your friends around and let's have a conversation. Let's just talk about what y'all going through. I know you're going through something because every time I look up and see on the news, something is going on. Have y'all seen that missiles were flying through the air just 24 hours ago? Anybody been paying attention? Anybody know we are on the verge of World War III? I know that's not the subject tonight. We're not even going to go there. I'm not even going to take y'all there. But I got a degree in political science and I can go all the way there. I've been on phone calls since yesterday. I've been all the way there. I've discussed it. And I have opinions on all of it. But I'll save it for another time. I appreciate y'all being here tonight. But we have to be aware of things that are going on in the community, which includes the global community, the global society. What is happening in our world? What is God's guidance for us in our little communities as some of these bigger things unfold around us? What is God's direction for our lives and those people around us, those people who we can influence? Got to take that stuff into account, y'all. Bernie Miranda says we must be informed. I agree with that. We must be informed in order for us to educate those around us. If we're going to be a blessing, y'all, we got to make sure that we manifest the blessings in our own lives before we get to trying to be a wonder to those folks around us. And if you see from the title that I put out there tonight, we have become a community of sheep. It is unfortunate the state that we are in now, but it is up to us, you and I. This is why we commune on platforms like this, Them Folks platform. This is why we get together and we have these kinds of discussions, because we want to exchange information. We want to keep the conversation going. We want to grow the discussion so that we can come up with solutions on how to help not only ourselves, but the next generation. Yo, we got to counteract some of the foolishness like we see here. A rap battle of some grown old men. Why are our children even looking up to this stupidity? Why is this even coming up on their radar? I'll tell you why. Because them folks run the industry. Them folks control the distribution of information and imagery, visual and audible. And it will pump that stuff into your child's earbuds right up under your nose. They sitting right up under you in the house and you think, oh, it's nothing, it's harmless. They're just looking at the phone with the earbuds in. It doesn't mean it. No, the devilment, satanic forces are being pumped in your kids' ears, even as they sit there in your face. And that's why we have these discussions, y'all, so that we can be prepared to combat these forces, these enemy forces who come into our homes, come into our lives, come into our children's minds. And we be sitting up looking unaware of these things and we say, why is Junior tripping? Why is my son, my daughter, my grandchild, why are they tripping out all of a sudden? What is going on here? Seems like this came out of nowhere. No, it didn't. It was intentional. It was purposeful. It was them folks who control this game who said, hey, it's been too much attention on Diddy. We got to change the narrative. Activate. I appreciate y'all being here tonight. Appreciate y'all being a part of the live. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Y'all, you know how I get down. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. And share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And always remember and never forget, like I always say, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, y'all. Share the video. Do me that favor. Share it. Let's get more people talking about this so we can bring about change in the community. Y'all share the video. And I'll see you on the next one. God bless each and every one of you. I love you and thank you for your support tonight. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you next time. Peace.